I've met her, I've dined with her, I've discussed politics with her, but I still don't feel I know who Theresa May really is or what she's about. In this film, we've set out to talk to people who've known her or worked with her at different times in her life, in search of what lies behind the steely gaze of the Sphinx of Maidenhead. At Oxford, she didn't join the posh set. As a friend she still keeps up with, Pat Frankland explains.
I think we were a little bit of a gang. One of my friends described it as a group she joined because we were all very normal and we didn't sort of stand out, act posh, act different. And she said you were people like me.
Pat says the ultimate ambition had already dawned.
She was very interested in politics even then, and she wanted to be an MP, and she seems not to remember it, but I'm sure she told us she wanted to be Prime Minister.
Her systematic approach to getting things done seems to have started early. How about her husband? Was she one for the boys?
Well, she had a string of boyfriends, and if they seem to be more on trial, I'd say, than most things. And they'd come into dinner. She sometimes seemed to have them overlapping because we'd get kicked under the table if we started talking about the wrong film. And if it's one she'd seen with another boyfriend, she didn't want to go and see it again when we were unfortunate enough to inspire the new boyfriend with it. Once Philip came on the scene, that was it. The others all disappeared. So it was very, very fast that was the one. And I knew he was very nice, but he seemed quite young. He stuck, and is still stuck, so.
Those early dreams of breaking through as a woman in politics were never forgotten. Baroness Jenkin, who co-founded with Theresa May an organisation called Women to Win, a Conservative Party project to increase the number of female Tory MPs, told me she carries on helping, pitching in with energy, but a kind of emotional detachment too. One or two people have said that she has quite a kind and encouraging side. You saw that, did you?
Yes, very much so. But at the same time, very professionally, I mean, she wouldn't get emotionally involved with them. But I was struck earlier this year when I was talking about her on something, and a woman wrote to me and said, I've still got the letter, a framed letter that she wrote me saying, don't give up, keep going. So I think she was very well aware that for a lot of women, it's, you know, the resilience that she has needs to be encouraged in others. And I think that she was, you know, very much trying to give some of these women, not exactly backbone, but the kind of support they needed.
Both colleagues and journalists seem to agree that she's generally content to let her work speak for itself.
Well, my first impression of her was as a journalist, and I've always rather admired the fact that Theresa May never wanted to impress journalists. And actually a lot of journalists found it very difficult because they could never get a story out of her. And I came to believe that she's a very rare politician who doesn't need to be liked, and I think that's quite an advantage.
Well, I'm by nature a bit of a gossip and a bit of a, you know, I like a chat at the end of the day, and that wasn't really her style. I mean, she was, as I say, highly professional, and but there was no, okay, let's kick our shoes off and, you know, chew the fat afterwards.
Is she personally, socially an easy colleague? Can you have a laugh with her?
Yeah, absolutely. She's funnier than that public image sort of suggests. Yeah, she's very good company on a car journey. She's very good company if you were to have a meal with her.
Nick Clegg, as Deputy Prime Minister when Theresa May was Home Secretary, was never personally close, but he worked closely with her. Unlike Sir Eric, he believes he spotted an early insecurity.
My recollection is of someone who felt slightly overwhelmed by what she was being asked to do in the Home Office, where we announced all these highly controversial savings. There was something sort of especially meticulous, but slightly unsure as well about the way that she had sort of pored over all of the numbers in number 10.
How about her emerging political philosophy? Had Thatcher been an early influence?
I don't think particularly. I don't know why not, though she was quite irritated when she got to be Prime Minister.
Yes. Pip to the post.
Pip to the post. I'm sure I remember that. I think Margaret's quite was always seen quite harsh towards the common people. And I don't think Theresa would like that.